Thank you for joining us on a brand new episode of Motorheads. Today we have with us a guest who has now been a relative newcomer to India but has had some time to settle in. It's 5 months in for Kevin Flynn, who heads the business for Fiat Chrysler in India. Thank you for joining us. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you at last. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's been something that I'd been wanting to do ever since we heard of the appointment. So I'm glad that this has worked out today, and a little late, but let me still say welcome to India.
Well, thank you very much indeed. I mean, to be honest with you, I think I needed some time to get into the country, get into the business, get into the market. For me, it's totally new. I'm new to FCA. Yeah. I'm new to India and the continent and all the challenges that offers. But so 5 months in, I'm sort of ready. And what a perfect opportunity for us to meet on the Abarth launch and here at BIC, which is just a dream come true to come to a circuit like this.
It is a special place, and the Buddh International Circuit, of course, is where we are, as Kevin said. Abarth as a brand is something that, of course, we will talk about today. Yeah. But going back to what you said about, getting a grip on things and just sort of settling down and figuring out the extent of the business. Sure. It's been interesting for you in a sense because it's not just about the Indian market, it's also about figuring out the overall global strategy for Fiat Chrysler, which has been evolving the last few years. Now, there's been enough said about missed opportunities in India for Fiat, but what was the hook for you to say, yes, I want to take this job?
Look, it's a challenge,
and it's a big one.
And I suppose, in a funny kind of a way, a lot of the jobs that I've done in my career have been underdog. And I love that, one of the previous jobs was selling and setting up Lexus in Germany, so it's that kind of challenge that I like. This had huge appeal because clearly two global giants that have come together as one organisation, and the qualities that can be offered from both to bring in, with platform sharing, with technology sharing, the whole move globally to smaller engines. So these two companies have so much to offer each other. So I think timing was good. Secondly, Fiat has such a history here. Everybody has great stories of resonance of their families. Oh, we had a Fiat, da 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 da, and that's just slightly gone off. There's still the passionate aficionados of Fiat in the country, and that's brilliant. I mean, the owners' clubs alone. I've been reading the forums, and in fact, we've invited some of them here later on today, and I'm going to meet them. So clearly there is a latent passion for Fiat, but we just need to get the business model right. We just need, all the investment that has gone in here is massive. Yeah. It is significant. And the quest for me is to actually take a good look at where we are, where do we want to be, and what's the journey to get there? Because the commitment on a global basis to success in India is phenomenal.
The point you made, though, about this, having the right kind of attention from global management as well.
Yes.
The reason why I think there was a period in between where people thought that had disappeared is not just because of the performance of the brand in India, but also perhaps because of the changes that were taking place globally. How important does India become, given that there are so many other things that Fiat is also trying to fix and get right?
Look, I think it's critically important, and I think if we look at the role of India for the motor industry, I think that role is changing. Yeah. And so it's a good time for us because we've made these investments. We've got this magnificent plant. I don't know if you've been there.
I have.
Most magnificent plant in Ranjangaon. Yeah. And I mean, that place is world class. And I tell you what I loved. I love the passion of the people that are working there. They love what they're doing. They're building fantastic cars. So, the opportunity is there for us. And as I said, the role of India, I think, is changing. A lot of car companies came to India because they believe this is the next one that's going to explode. It's going to go to
next
5.
China,
yeah. This is the next one. This is going to be a 5 million car market, but it bubbles along at 2.2, and around about 2 million a year, and we're working with that. So there's a lot of infrastructure here. So what it's now becoming is almost a global hub. And if you look at the evolution of the industry, companies are becoming far more global to protect themselves against currencies, to have a far better logistic situation for building the right cars in the right places for global consumption. So we're in that process. We're looking at, hang on, what do we want to do for India? What's the model line that we need for the future going forward? And how can that also serve some of our other right-hand drive markets?
But the commitment that you talk about, is that something that, for you personally, is that something that you were almost like, all right, let me know that all this is in place before I sign on, because
no,
that is crucial in a sense, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. But I think you've
you know why I asked this? I mean, like you said, there is such a massive amount that's been done here already from an infrastructure or a business point of view, but obviously the volumes haven't taken off. So you need to say that, all right, are you going to use this as an export hub at some point, or are you not?
Well, I think that's what we're evaluating now, and as you know, we're going to be bringing the Jeep brand also to India. We've confirmed that now, and we've just confirmed that we're going to be investing a further $280 million in the plant in Ranjangaon to build a Jeep here. I mean, to build a Jeep here, which is going to be exported. I mean, that is great news. So a lot of those things were bubbling, and we were discussing them when we were going through the possibility of this appointment. So, but nothing was all in stone. And the beauty of the challenge here is to come in, see what we've got, and find the right route forward, because we deserve a rightful place in the Indian car industry. We deserve it. You know, we've got great heritage. We've got an Italian flair. And that can be different from the other offerings.
And good cars. And
good cars that handle very, very nicely as well.
I mean, that's been almost, it used to be criticism, I guess, from the motoring press for a while. Then it became almost frustration, because all of us saw that. We saw that the cars, it wasn't the cars, it was always just not getting the strategy right.
I think you're right. I mean, one of the first things I did, because I'm also new to the segment, you know, a lot of my career has been in the premium end of the business. And of course, what people see as premium in India is different. You know, what I see as premium is luxury, whereas you know, our cars are considered premium. So what I had to do when I first came was to really understand the market segments that I was looking at and the kind of products and so forth. So I briefed the product team to assemble at Ranjangaon an array of the competitors' products and our products. And I got the engineers from our Chennai operation, and I got some guys from the factory, and I got my technical team, and I got my some guys from marketing, and we all got together and we just drove them. We set up a small route around the factory, and we drove every car. So I got in and out, opened the boot, sat in the back to find out what is it that makes a certain car suddenly take off in the Indian market and others lose their shine. And I was coming at it from a completely different angle. And I'm looking at our cars, and I'm driving our cars, and I'm saying, I like the feel of the chassis, I like the way the car handles, I like the way the engine pulls, and I'm getting other products that actually are selling probably a lot greater volumes than us. And I'm saying, I'm not getting the vibe. So it's one thing having a set of products that deliver that real dynamic enjoyment, okay, but actually, is that what the consumer is looking for? And we've got to find that balance, I think, moving forward, of actually making sure that we've got products that actually appeal to the buyers in the marketplace, and actually then we as a brand have just got to inspire more confidence. And you know, the one that comes up to me a lot of times, oh, is Fiat staying? Is Fiat staying? Just look at the investment. I mean, we've got one of the biggest engineering centres in Chennai.
Can't not stay, right?
We can't not stay. It's an absolute commitment.
Well, in that sense, I think the fact that it became Fiat Chrysler globally plays into that idea. It kind of helps us, because it gives you a different kind of an opportunity and a different kind of scale perhaps in the future.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, definitely.
So we've talked for a while. I mean, we've got these cars here, and we've got to quickly talk about Abarth before I'm itching to jump into one, as you can probably guess. The strategy behind bringing Abarth, obviously this is a limited volume brand globally, it's not just about India. And like you said, the Indian market has its own peculiarities. How do you see this fitting in? Well,
look, first of all, I think the decision was made a little while ago, and then it sort of got a little bit derailed, and the timing wasn't. So when I arrived, we sort of first of all dusted off the strategies and said, hang on, let's have a look at these, and how can we make this great, fun, dynamic pocket rocket do a job for us? And I mean, look, this car design is iconic to Fiat, isn't it? It says everything about the heritage.
It really talks to the brand.
Exactly. And you know, if you look at the car buyer in India, they're looking in this not this segment. If you took the Fiat 500, which we previously imported, you know, that actually again was a niche fun car to own, you know, it didn't necessarily tick all the boxes in terms of the packaging and everything else, because that's not what it is.
It's not meant to be that.
So we've got this chance again to come with this iconic shape which says a lot about Fiat, but in a completely different package. What it does for us is more than that. This heralds the arrival of Abarth in India, but what we've also done, and you'll be hearing more of it shortly, is actually we've developed with Abarth engineers a Punto Abarth for India, which is going to be built here. And in fact, you'll probably see one. We've got a couple here that we brought along for you guys to have a look.
Display,
yeah.
Yes, I saw
so
that.
and it's not quite finished, but it'll be with us this year. And that packs 145 horsepower.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
So it's first India hot hatch. So we've got a family, and there's other activities as well around using the Abarth engineering, Abarth power units across our range. So we can bring a performance flair for the consumer that's looking for that, and it adds another dimension.
No, like you said, I mean, it was announced a while ago, so I'm glad that we now have the cars here.
Yes.
And congrats to you. But like I was saying earlier as well, you know, the cars are here. I can't keep talking to you.
You're going to drive one?
Yeah, I have this little drawer that's taking me close to it now. And you said it's like a mini Ferrari. It's red. You know, it's got everything going for it.
You couldn't ask for more, could you?
So
you better go and have some fun.
Well, we got plenty more to talk about in terms of also, you know, the rest of the strategy from Fiat, etc. But maybe we should just. Do you want to join me? We can
I'd love to.
Go and get a quick spin in.
That's fantastic.